welcome to the Community Connections, Resources, and Gardening. I'm your host, Quandra, and we're going to have a wonderful show tonight. Stay tuned. Welcome back. This is Quandra Gaines again, and welcome to Community Connections, Resources, and Gardening. Today, we're going to have a fantastic show because we're going to have Ms. Cynthia Mann, who is the Executive Director of the Forest Hieghts CDC. And let's bring on Ms. Mann. Hello, Ms. Mann. How are you today?
There. How are you?
I am wonderful.
Good.
We're going to start off with How are you doing as far as the Christmas holiday and all these different things that are coming at you as the Executive Director?
Moving right along. Note to take a moment and catch my breath every so often. Excited about some of the things that we have, some of the irons that we have in the fire. Just whatever path the Lord sends me down, that's the one I walk and see what I can do with it.
Well, that's a great thing. So let's start up with the first question. Who is Cynthia Mann?
I guess the best way to say it is I am a 22-year resident in the town of Forest Heights. I have been the Executive Director for the CDC for about 8 years. I came on board. The inception of the CDC was 2011.
Okay.
And it was under the umbrella of the town of Forest Heights. And, we were able to visualize that we needed a CDC to do some of the things that the town could not take care of. So we had our attorney put the paperwork together and got our 501(c)(3). In 2016, I believe I became a part of the board because the bylaws requested that at least 2 council persons be on that particular board. And I've been with them ever since.
Okay. So what drives you? What drives you? What is your motivation? As the Executive Director?
I see everything as a challenge.
Okay.
And I have to see what the end results will be. So I put everything into it. This is the community that I live in. I want to see it look a certain way and be a certain way. And I want our residents to all have a thriving, meaningful life over here in Forest Heights. And let me not exclude the Oxon Hill community as well. Just want to make sure that I can tap into resources to make a better life for them.
All right. And the second question, where is Greater Oxon Hill?
We are like soulmates with St. Mark's AME Church, which is at 5427 Indian Head Highway. We've been with them. They've been our soulmates since day one. And they are kind enough to let us have an office in their annex building. So we're at 5427 Indian Head Highway.
Okay. And what is the mission of Oxon Hills?
Our main mission is economic development, resources, and being supportive to your annual events that they have within the community, within the 20745 community, figuring out ways to make even the small businesses thrive more and maintain their businesses, just being that extra resource for the community.
Okay. So what programs do you have right now that people can take part of?
We have rental assistance as well as utilities / prescription assistance. We also partner again with St. Mark's, and we give out gift cards for the share program that they have every third Saturday of the month.
Okay.
We are currently working. I just put together a grant to incorporate what we have. We have one program that's called Small Act of Kindness. Under
Mm-hmm.
that umbrella, we have started for the summer. We offered our senior residents grass cutting
Mm-hmm.
services. So we were able to start that in May. We finished in October. We have 20 people on our list, and we are
Mm-hmm.
looking to expand it to 20 more. All of the participants now are in Forest Heights, but I'm looking to go over to Birchwood and Glass Manor to
Mm-hmm.
incorporate those two areas in this program. That program also is going to provide snow removal for my residents
Mm-hmm.
when we start having snow, or we should have some snow for the 22-23 year.
I got you.
Winter year. So yeah.
So
Mhm.
all these, all of your services and activities steered towards seniors or
No, we have
families?
stuff for the youth as well. Like
Mm-hmm.
with again, we have collaboration with St. Mark's. We have the summer program. We
Mm-hmm.
also have a year-round program, tutoring after school. Of course, that's I think we're ready for this year since we're all
Mm-hmm.
coming out of the pandemic, but we are keeping our eyes on those numbers to
Right.
see if we're going to turn around and be right back where we started.
Okay.
We also work with Abundant Life
Okay.
Ministry to do some things with them. We host a farmers market
Mm-hmm.
starting in July to October,
Mm-hmm.
and we have divided that between setup at Abundant Life and St. Mark's,
Okay.
and that is all of those produce are grown locally from
Okay.
our residents, and they
Mm-hmm.
set up their tables and do their thing at the farmers market.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the food share package that's available all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm now working with Ms. Linda Thomas on a grant for workforce development, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
crossing my fingers because it's the age range is 16 to 24, and
Mm-hmm.
I that's going to be a tough crowd to try to get in and get them some work and get them motivated to keep the job and do their thing because they need to take over for us, for folks like
Mm-hmm.
myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting tired. I'm getting older
Mm-hmm.
anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a wonderful project that we have going on for our youth. What
Mm-hmm.
else? The seniors, we do all kinds of stuff for them all the time. So yeah, we
So do
we
you
try to
need?
make it a family orientated kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
One of the other things that I have put in a grant to support under the small act of kindness umbrella
Mm-hmm.
is what I want to call building a family. And
Okay.
what I've done is I've partnered with a barber shop, and um, the barbershop will provide. We will give out gift cards or
Mm-hmm.
for haircuts and braiding.
Mm-hmm.
And we want it to be a family thing. So the mom and daughter can come and get her hair done and they can talk and do that whole barbershop thing or hairdresser thing that the girls do. And then the guys
Mm-hmm.
bring the sons and they
Mm-hmm.
get their hair cut. It just build on the family idea and,
Mm-hmm.
and connect better
Okay.
outside of the household.
Now, do you need more volunteers? Do you need more grant writers? How
Um,
would someone get involved?
Probably, well, the biggest grant that I have that I'm looking to go after is with the Department of Housing and Community Development.
Mm-hmm.
And that one I have in my head that we might be ready to
Mm-hmm.
purchase some
Okay.
property, and do some fun stuff. Whether
Okay.
it be find a developer to do low or moderate income folks can have those spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we also have in on our suggestion box a boys and girls club, but
Okay.
not your standard boys and girls club. We want to make it more of a resource center rather than
Okay.
a place for the kids to just come and play.
Okay.
And that will have that whole family oriented kind of thing. We will offer English Spanish and Spanish English
Mm-hmm.
classes so
Mm-hmm.
that the communication level with all of our residents can be a little bit better.
Okay.
We will also offer things like job training or have a poster board that gives you whatever job opportunities are out there. At some point, we'll get to the basketball and all of that fun stuff. But we want to start it off with more of a resource center for the community.
Okay.
And the big project that we have now is that we were approved with the Department of Housing and Community Development to do a commercial facade improvement for the 5500 of Livingston Road and then 5400 of Indian Head Highway. We have had our first workshop. The businesses were very happy with the plans. We're in the final phase of what it's going to look like. So we're out there looking for some more money to complete that project. I'd like to put solar lights, the whole 9 yards for that, brighten it up real nice. We want to do planterns. So I plan to reach out to Stormwater Management to talk about some of the grants that they have. We do know in that area of Livingston Road, across the street from where the commercial business is, there's a corner, Livingston, I'm not sure what the upstreet is, but there's a corner that floods.
Okay.
Really bad when it rains. So of course I got to get it, have communications with State Highway. What can we do? How can we make this happen? On that same side of the street, we don't have any sidewalks, and we need it. So those are the fun things that we're out here looking at, trying to make them happen. I could always use help because we're so small. I'm your executive director. I am your grant writer. I am your treasurer, and I am your secretary. So I wear hats, and I don't mind because God has given me. Put me in a position where I have the time to get it done, and I really enjoy watching the transformation of the small things that we do. So I had a conversation with one of my homies, I'll call him, about the big grant where we want to talk about purchasing some property and doing something really great with that. So I'm on the right track with gathering up the brain trust that I need to make sure that we put together a successful grant to get that done. Donna Hurley of Hope is my buddy. I love her madly. So she's always there, ready to help as well. So my major collaborations is with my churches. Lee Detroit, St. Mark's, Abundant Life, all the churches right here in the Oxon Hill, Forest Heights area.
Okay, so what are the dynamics of the town of Forest Heights?
Excuse me. As we know, I believe that this Forest Heights is the only municipality on this end. I love it over here. It's really nice, although there's some things that are happening that I can live without, but it is what it is as the world transforms. I found it to be very quiet, very laid back. It could be a nice retirement spot if you're just looking for excitement and then peace and quiet at the same time. The houses are very nice, well kept. The folks are really nice. It's a very diverse community and growing. I guess it's just it's convenient because as you know, we're right here at the corner of the exit to go into Virginia. And then at the other end, we turn the corner and you're in DC. So we're right in the middle. We call ourselves the jewel on the Potomac because we sit right in the middle of it all.
Okay. Now, what collaborations are you creating with major organizations?
Organizations are just getting to know me. Again, Cynthia is just the person that behind the scenes and does the work. And I'm not real good at the whole public shaking the eye. I'm not real good at that. I know how to ask for what I need. But my excitement for now is, excuse me, the HCD, the Redevelopment Authority, the County Council's office. The biggest organization that I work with and get so much support and help is Hope, the other 501(c) in the area. And then my churches back everything I do. So those are the collaborations that I've put together thus far. Joe Gaskin, Linda Thomas with the NAACP. We're in collaboration there. I've had conversation with some of the folks at the school board because we pay attention, very close attention to our kids. So we're small but growing. We're getting there.
Okay. Now, would you need some volunteers that are very handshakable and they know people that can assist you in your
I think that would be very helpful for us.
Okay.
Very helpful.
So we can put that out there. And we did have Linda Thomas on our show. So, and we're going to be working with her as well. Now,
she's fabulous.
She is. And she's very straight up to the point. What is the organization's plans for serving the town of Forest Heights and its service areas?
Okay. Again, so over the years, we've always supported 95% of the activities and annual events that the town hosts is Forest Heights Day, your community garden, senior luncheon, senior Christmas celebration, Halloween, the Harvest Fest that they have for the kids. What else do they do? During the pandemic, the food giveaway, we made sure that we were also out there doing the same thing. And we actually have, the CDC has every intention to continue doing the food and the utility and the rental assistance program. Because it's going to take us a minute to get out of this mess that we're in. So we're seeking funding for that. The farmers market, it's always a big deal. We used to have yard sales, but that kind of fell off. But it's communications that I've been having with some folks. They're like, let's see if we can't start that up again. This might be the opportune moment for some folks to be able to get rid of some things and then actually benefit financially from those sales. What else? Again, like I said, the biggest project that I'm working on is finishing up the commercial facade improvement. After that, and that we have labeled that phase 1, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 commercial businesses in this group. So I tend to go back again and do a phase 2 to get some more. Just looking to, I'm tired of it looking like it looks, so I took on the task of like, let's see what we can do with it. So
Okay. On that note, we're going to take a small break.
Okay.
And then we're going to return and see. We're going to ask you some more questions and see how people can get involved with your organization.
Perfect.
I'm Leon Thomas with the Leon Thomas Group. Podcast, virtual events, webinars, streaming shows, and so much more. We want to be your partner in all things virtual.
All right, welcome back. We have been talking with Cynthia Mann, and I would like to invite people who are interested in volunteering, doing different organizations, doing different, having different skill sets that are very interested in Prince George's County and Oxton Hills and Forest Heights that are very interested. We are going to give Ms. Mann the opportunity in a few to tell us what her wish list is, what things she needs. The next question we're going to talk about is, what are your community or your organization's community initiatives and priorities for 2023?
So for 2023, we will hopefully phase 1 of the commercial side improvement will be able to be completed somewhere between July and August. In the background, we are still working with the Boys and Girls Club, the National Boys and Girls Club, to identify, well, we have partnered with Flintstone Elementary to set up a Boys and Girls Club workshop at Forest Heights with Flintstone Elementary, with the intent of possibly finding some property or ground where we can actually build an entire facility. Boys and Girls Club for the area. And then we would be looking for, because of the dynamics, and there's so many different highways that you got to cross to get to either side of Forest Heights, we hope to incorporate in that Boys and Girls program bus service where we can go to the school, pick up my after school kids from Glass Manor, from Henson Valley, and bring them over to the Boys and Girls Club so that they can enjoy that facility as much as everybody else gets to do that. Number 3 would be to get the money and get the political backing to purchase some property over here in Forest Heights. And either it would be for residential, low to moderate income residential space. It could be, because we also talk about an arch, we'd like to see an arch district over here as well. It could be the location for the Boys and Girls Club. But we think that we would do really good if we have already identified a space to do one of those 2 projects, either the Boys and Girls Club or to put together a nice little housing community, apartments probably, for your low to moderate income folks. So that's my wish list.
That's your wish list. Now, so you're starting your relationship with different organizations, but have you reached out to like Giant in Prince George's County?
We have a good relationship with Giant. I have a good relationship with Home Depot. I have a good relationship with Dollar General. Those are the folks that I tap into for my community garden for Home Depot. Dollar General, we get some stuff, some school supplies, book bags, and all that fun stuff. We had a really good relationship with Walmart, but they're no longer with us. But Target is the best. They are the best. I needed something one day, talked to the manager, give her what she needs. I was like, we're willing to pay for it. He said, no, give her what she needs. And we did a food basket giveaway when the pandemic first happened. And we just needed some bags to stuff the hand sanitizers and things like that in. Went over to Target. They gave me exactly what it is. So Target, I would be in love with Target forever. So those kind of things we do have relationships with the community to get the things that we need. This stuff that we can get in bulk, and then we can take those dollars that we would have to spend for that and put it somewhere else. So we do pretty good in collecting the stuff, and all the businesses are really good at supporting us. I guess.
Now, do you need a public relations person? So if there were any colleges around you or colleges in the city that would like to, that live out there, that would love to be a part, where would they go to say they're interested?
Just visit the website, www.fh-oh.cdc.org, and click on how to talk to us. I forgot what my link is called, but there's a link that you can connect with us, fill it out, tell us what you want, and we will get right back in touch with you.
Okay. And then if somebody wanted to volunteer, but at this time they can do everything virtual, is that an opportunity as well?
That does help. It does. And my biggest issue is I do everything. I'm even the website manager. I do everything. That is an area that would really be helpful if I could have somebody help me keep it up to date, keep it moving, the website and the social media pages. That if I could get that off my plate, that would probably help me a great deal. So that is one area that I'm truly behind in. So if I could get some help there, it would be great.
Okay. So I'm gonna give you some time to talk about, like you gave us your wish list, and what are the impediments that you have identifying things that are hurting the organization's mission?
Well, I think it's more so that I'm basically in competition with everybody else, right?
Okay.
And there are things, there's money out there, and you read the guidelines for it, and then I don't want to say anything negative. I don't.
Well, no, this is not negative. This is reality, because when you are in, I've worked with nonprofits, I've been on that receiving side, that you have everything in a package and the funder is not so open to take your program seriously. And that's why I'm asking the questions that I'm doing, because I am going to give you some things, as I'm a gardener. So as a gardener, and getting people excited about growing their own food. And there are other gardeners who are not too far around you, and that will come to you. So putting those things in Ocean, plus at the same time, my family lives in Oxon Hill. So it's like, it's more like people want to give back. You have Micah, I've worked with them for years. You've got quite a lot of different students who are actually doing projects, and you're about to do projects in the new year. So it's just a matter of connecting those dots so that you have what you need, because you're actually doing public health.
Yeah.
You're doing public health. You're dealing with diverse populations, and that need is great. And then you have that the young crowd, the new home buyers, and so you have a diversity. So and that's great. That's really great.
I think that I feel like we're forgotten a lot.
Okay.
No matter how hard we go out there and try to sell ourselves and make sure that Forest Hieghts, Oxon Hill is not forgotten, we're still forgotten.
and that's why this platform is here, so that you can get your message out, but also you have a hidden gem that we both know, but at the same time you also have people that are connected to him and others. So one of the big things too is, like, we can see the passion that you have. We can see you're holding many hats, and you live there. So it's like,
So yeah, when you run across a funding opportunity, and then it turns into more of a dictatorship. It's like, okay, yeah, but if you don't live here, how can you tell us what we do or don't need?
Right.
It's just because you run into situations where your applicants are all asking for the same thing. The reality is that we all need the same things.
True.
You know what I'm saying? And so to turn it into a dictatorship, I'm like, yeah, that doesn't really work for me.
Well, so as a person who writes grants and who has had to work with different types of funders, a lot of times, and then there's you just have you have a lot of other organizations that are within some of them that you can actually go to. And I'm going to share them with you when we get off the camera. But also too, students. Sometimes one thing I've learned with working in nonprofits is you have college students from different universities.
Now, I will say that Maryland University has done a lot of stuff over here in Forest Heights, and one of the folks that I will be reaching out when we get to the beautification of the commercial facade improvement project, I will be talking to Maryland University to send some folks over, and I'll work with TD Bank to do some tree planting. And so, yeah, I got all of this in my head. I just need to make sure it connects.
Right. And then also too, by incorporating year-round youth with the universities, because you got Hopkins out there, you've got University out there, you've got quite a few. But I'm going to show you one different way of doing it, in a way where you'll have different other organizations asking you to do things. And that way, because I don't want you to go nowhere. I don't want you to be forgotten.
Okay.
You know, and the fact that you're doing it, you have support, but you're doing the different positions. I know what that feels like. I've worked for someone who had all those different positions, and it burned him out. And you know, so I want you to be that face. And you will be the face, but you'll have a team of people working with you that can go out to those events if you're not able to, and love it because
that's what they love. That's what they love. Yeah. Okay.
So what things would you like to do that you have not done? And if you could get a funder or like you said, a developer or a construction company who is looking for a project to build those homes for moderate income or seniors, or to build that building for that rec center, what things do you have in place right now that if they came to you and said, let's say Henson Phelps, who's right in your area, who is building all around you, if you had their attention, what would you say to them? What things would you need from them to get that fund or that project done?
I guess just really the desire to build whatever. Okay. Just give me something different. Add add the value to the community.
Okay, so when you say give you something different,
if you came over and if you wanted to do the Boys and Girls Club, perfect. I'm happy. Please do. If you wanted to
would it be called the Boys and Girls Club or would it be called something else?
We would work on that because we can name it after whoever, as long as we set it up where I think it's more of a resource center and we provide everything that we can possibly provide to the people to make them have a better quality of life. We can call it whatever you like. It doesn't have to be a part of the Boys and Girls Club. Okay. You know, it could be our community center. Okay. Something very simple. Our community center. Okay. Our community resource center. Something of that nature. So that would be great. I have had conversations with some of the county folks for the Arts District. That would be perfect. That puts a whole different spin, a whole different dynamic on the area. It gives it a totally different look. Makes it look more inviting. The whole night. I think that would be perfect. Okay. And then we have some development going on over here. What is it going? It's going to be Harbor View. Okay. It's going to be right there on the Butler property, which is right there where the children's farm and whatever else in the casino, all that. And they're supposed to be low to moderate. I cannot remember if that development. It may include some senior housing as well. And so one side is being developed. Everything looks like it's being developed where the MGM is. Okay. But we forgot about the entrance into the town. So my focus has been on that end, east over, across the street, where the apartment complexes is, and you have, I think folks live on top, but you have your radio, you have a laundromat, you have a nail place. All of that area right there on 210 needs to be revamped. It needs to be brought alive. It needs work. So that kind of thing, if there's a developer out there who wants to come in and turn that area around, I would, oh my goodness, wide open. I know that the county will work with me for anything that's sitting in Oxon Hill, and I'm sure that I have the support of the town of anything that we want to do within the town of Forest Hieghts. So.
Okay, so you have opportunities, so that's good. You can actually go for some of the different federal opportunities that you can get. So, you know, I look forward to hearing more about that. We'll bring you on again and see what things we're going to work on, the things that you need, and we'll talk to our person that we know together, because he's on the transition team for Westmore. And see what other things, and then together I will start pulling some people that I know who will probably jump on, especially the artists, the visual artists, the actual people who are doing the art. Maybe even if you looking at having some kind of art district where people would know that the artist is there and to help with the seniors, because there's a lot of different things going on with art, how it's developing,
Mm-hmm.
dealing with the, hand and coordination and things of that,
Mm-hmm.
memory with
Mm-hmm.
seniors and
Mm-hmm.
even children, when you're
Mm-hmm.
drawing, it's
Mm-hmm.
knitting, crocheting,
Mm-hmm.
all those different
Yep.
things.
Mm-hmm.
So on that, so we're going to do an call to action to a lot of organizations that I know are
Okay.
doing things with children and
Mm-hmm.
seniors and
Mm-hmm.
the artwork, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe even talking to some developers
Mm-hmm.
and seeing if they're interested on getting with you. So I do have a person in mind
Okay.
that I will also send an
Mm-hmm.
email and introduce you to him so
Okay.
that he has a construction company.
Okay.
So now this
And I
is
do know that the town of Forest Heights did have several different irons in the fire, like with Petra.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some space on Talbot Drive. I think somebody's looking at that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the pandemic hit. So now we're trying to gear back up.
Mm-hmm.
And the CDC is talking to the town, and we're letting them know this is what we'd like to see.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go out there and spearhead the project for you if that's what you need us to do. But we want you to know that we're working with you. Again, they know for sure that my idea is to go to the other side, where the Eastover. This side is taken care of. I need to go over there because, it just doesn't make sense to do all of this on one side, and you do still have people have to still travel through and see, oh no, it can be scary to some people. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to turn the area around, don't forget anybody. Right. Don't forget, just have everybody included. So my desire is that if there is a developer out there who's looking to work with us to do that side where the Eastover is, that's the person I need to talk to.
Okay. Yeah, because you actually have a roofing company not too far away from you that does a lot of major work in Baltimore City on the state buildings, etc. So I do know him as well because he was going to do a program and it didn't fall through with my former job, but he's still available. So
yeah.
So what other things would you like to see as far as you're doing?
And I want to also make sure that I always have the money for my small stuff. Okay. Those yearly and annual events that we put on for the kids and the seniors and whoever. I need to always have money for that. Okay. And my perspective for rental assistance and utility assistance, I kind of look at us and say, man, we might not be finished with needing that help until 2030. It's going to be a minute. Yes. It's going to be at least 7 years out before if we ever fully recover from what we've had to go through. I certainly see it on a sense of trying to get our young folks motivated again to work. They're just not motivated anymore. So, bringing things of that nature back to life, that's my drive.
Okay. So we do have a joint person who has access to the students at College Park, and we'll put that out on him to Mr. Branch. Okay. We will put him out there as well. So, just now it's just getting everyone together, asking people for that big ask, whether it's to do fundraising for you so that you constantly have, funds to take care of your core projects, and then also developers who are looking for a project that will make it be impactful to our community, to come out and reach out to you, walk through, see what your vision is, and put it into fruition. Yeah. Another thing is having youth involved that can do your social media. You can give them service hours to do that, but also teaching them, giving them a group that does that where they can get their certification so they can do that in the long term because they live not too far from, which means they're not going to have a hard time getting to your
Absolutely.
But even, I actually had a training with seniors who were like computer experts, and it was amazing because most times you give off the impression that they don't know how to text, email, but that is the exact opposite. But I also would love to see the College Park students, the Hopkins students, the Morgan and Coppin students coming in and really, pushing forth with your programs and those areas, because it's beautiful. It is amazing.
And I will say the community garden as well as the farmers market is ran by all seniors.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I know quite a few brilliant, fantastic farmers that, I offer my services because I actually I'm growing an indoor garden when it's cold outside. So doing some workshops with the seniors and teaching them how to grow food all year round, what foods they can grow. And it's cheap. And it
helps. It helps a great deal.
Bring more to the farmers market. And then looking at some organizers that can come out and give you some time and put you so that you're actually just the executive director, and you'll have a team of people that can push your vision, push Oxon Hill's vision, push Forest Heights vision, and then you can sit back and say, whew. And then
we did it. We did it. We did it. Yes. Yeah.
So tell me, is there anything, do you have a newsletter?
I do, and I was just working on it because I wanted to put out there the workshop that we had introducing the drafts of the designs for the commercial facade. So I was just working on that. So yes, I do have a newsletter.
And where can we get it? We can go on your website and get your newsletter. I usually post it on the website. Yes. And your calendar.
And then, of course, I'll print out some and and I'll also include it in the mailing with the town of Forest Heights newsletter.
Okay.
So both of those are sent out at the same time there. But I do need to expand a little bit. A couple of my I do have board members that live in Birchwood. I do have a board person that lives in Glass Manor, so that connection is there.
Okay.
So we're able to get the newsletter out there whenever we get it done. Because again,
so you have Bank of America in your area. Okay. They have a major grant. They have quite a few major grants that can give you. And I actually wrote 2 and got it. But M&T, you have M&T Bank out there. They have a grant. So you've got, and what we'll do is I'll send you a list of places that go as far as you go.
Now I have had success with BB&T now, Truist, but I don't think I will ever have success with them again. I'll share later. Okay. And TD Bank is absolutely fabulous. They've been with me, oh my God, maybe 10 years. They're right there. Right there. They always send me whatever's out there. They make sure that I'm on the list. Cynthia, we're doing this, and this, and this. They usually support the small business seminars and workshops that we do. We try to do at least 3 a year.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do a call of action to all the foundations and people that work for foundations that are Maryland-wide that go out to Prince George's County. I ask you to reach out to Miss Mann because she's doing a fantastic job out there, and we want this to continue. We don't want a worthwhile organization to go into abyss because we did not do our part. So on that note, I asked foundations, I asked those students that I had that now are big shots at Keswick and artists and who are pursuing their doctorates at the University of Texas and others to do their part. And I will be calling you tonight so that, and putting you on an email to them, because I do have one who's fantastic. She's over at Keswick. She's a director, and she did a senior program. We did a generational where it was grandparents with their grandchildren. So we know that those things can happen. And we do have some that live not too far from you. So I will be reaching out to you this evening.
That would be great, because one of the conversations the CDC has had is this partnering, having our youth partner with the senior homes and do Christmas caroling or some kind of performance to brighten up their day in those facilities. So yes, that would be perfect.
Okay. So we will be in connections.
We're also working on our strategic plan. I hope to get it finished soon. Yeah.
Okay. So not only the foundations, but you have you ever done asset mapping for your area?
I haven't, no.
Okay. Well, I have someone that can help you with that, because then that way you can target down different things. There are some foundations that go out. They're all city.
Right.
There are some organizations that do things for women-owned businesses. So, or women-ran business. So we're going to really connect, and I'm going to reach out to a few people. I hope that they're not cringing, but that's okay. That's the whole point. We have to build, and we have to bring a legacy for and reduce the gap that we have between youth and seniors.
Absolutely.
Because you don't appreciate the fact that's wisdom. That's history. There are a lot of things that I remember from my grandparents, my great-grandparents, my great-grandparents. Most people don't get to see that. Most people don't get to have that.
Absolutely.
Those skills, those conversations, those hacks, as they call them, hacks. We call them tricks. Things that you learn how to cook homemade from scratch. Didn't realize.
I just recently had the conversation with somebody. It's like, tradition is gone, and I'm like, I'm all for building new traditions, but there are old traditions that work, and we need to make sure that we're implementing these consistently. Traditions work.
When I was president of a PTA, we incorporated the Grandparents Club. There are fast foods. Burger King, they funded us for our Grandparents Club.
Okay.
And so that's, fast food, McDonald's, they have all kinds of different things. Stores, different organizations, so those things are out there. You've got those stores. So we did a thing with, what is it? Not the dollar. We did it with Dollar Store. The president of the Family Dollar. Phenomenal. Just his story alone, and that was phenomenal. We, like you said, you could pick up the phone and say, "Hey, look, I need," and they gave it. So building those relationships, getting you, because you have a relationship with Giant, getting you connected with Safeway so that you can have that partnership, because they do.
Safeway, I have a partnership. I forgot all about it. It's so much going on all the time. The Safeway is wonderful as well. Yes.
So
and that was an excellent connection from the county exec's office. She hooked me up with Safeway. So
Okay. Yeah. So all those different things, those things, and even looking at, like you said, you wanted to have some places, maybe having places that you have green spaces where seniors can sit, families can enjoy, having that community center, and taking away that plight, and building a community, because you have a community. It's just now you need your excellence.
It's time for us to give it a facelift. Let's do something different, because everything else around you is doing something different. This new and innovative stuff happening all around you. We cannot, and if you want your small businesses to be able to sustain, you got to help them.
Well,
or they'll be washed out.
It's Main Street. You got access to Main Street money. You know what I mean? And most people don't look at that opportunity, but you have it from the county as well as from the state.
Yes. So my end goal for the commercial facade was to see, how can I turn this into a Main Street certification or designation? I'd like to see that. And we deserve it.
Yes, you do.
We've been around for a while. So.
Long time. So why not? So, and the fact, have you ever thought of looking at the historic, seeing it was historic? Yes. Okay.
Well, we know that the Butler property is historic. Okay. And we know, just by the names of the street, we know that this was more Indian over here when it first started to develop. And we know that the military started to come over here. It was kind of the first. So it's a lot of history over here, definitely.
All right, so we still have some time, but what can we do today? When people look at this show, what today? If they were to, can they send emails to you?
Yes.
Send
them an email. We'll fill out the questionnaire on the webpage. My my wish for today, if I had one wish, I need somebody to do the social media, the web page. That's really what I need. I try to update it as much as I can, but I have other things that I work on that. And I work for St. Mark's Church as well. So yeah. And then of course I have to have a job to be able to take care of myself. So.
I went to St. Mark's Church when I went to the school.
Okay. Yeah. So
when I was a little kid. So
it's all about getting the presence out there a little bit better. I love the website and what we've done. I just need to keep it updated.
Okay. So you need a person who So we're gonna talk because there are some organizations some foundations that would love you because there's quite a few that I've worked with that definitely would love that. Plus, at the same time, I'm going to give you an opportunity because I sat on a council with the Johns Hopkins Source, which is the Student Outreach Resource Center. I was on the council for a while. For a while. Plus, I was able to be we want to be a proxy to have students from different colleges. I can walk you through that. The executive director is phenomenal, Mindy Levin. So she knows I'm reaching out to her. But there are quite a few different organizations. Johns Hopkins is up the hill. So, the physics lab and all these different things. So it's just a matter of getting them to you, having your wish list, they playing a part in it, and you getting your dream of community resource center, green spaces, staying in time and getting those kids or those students who are going to be your residents from hopefully Micah, because they have a wonderful master's program. They have bachelor students who can give you some. So I'm gonna send some emails, put you on it, do an intro, and let's see where it goes. Because 2023, we're not, as they say, Westmore said, leave no one behind.
That's right.
Everybody to the finish line.
He's fabulous. We've talked to him about the Boys and Girls Club. He's on point with it. He fully supports it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So on that note, tell us something that you have done in the past, like 2022. What were your goals for 2022?
2022, 1920, no, it was 20. Right as the pandemic hit, we were actually awarded $30,000 from the local development council. And we got innovative. And I just went to my board and said, you know what? We have all of these things that we want to support, which are annual events that we always support. Can we take this money? And that's when we started the rental and utility assistance program. And it was outstanding. I was even able to reach as far down apartment complexes for sure, but down to Southern. What is the name of that? I can't think of it. It's down on Southern Avenue, the apartment complex. I was even able to help someone in that area, and that was the best feeling in the world. I couldn't do a whole lot, of course, because I had to give a limit of how much we would donate to you so that I can make sure that I touched as many people as I could. And so we had to request a repurpose, and we did get it. So we took most of the money, about $27,000, and we paid people's utilities, and we paid the mortgage and helped them try to stay on float and what have you. That was the best ever. The best ever. I was like, wow, because I know that I made a difference. I'm pretty sure I helped about 25 families.
Okay. That's big.
Yeah.
That's big.
It was about 25 families with that. And then my wonderful partners at St. Mark's, that was something that they always did. So when we got an overflow, they were able to help out too. So it was great.
Now, have you taken advantage of having senior worker where the state would pay for it?
I have not.
Okay.
I have not. Again, because the community, the two programs that I host are just the farmers market and the community garden. So we fund those 100%. The rest of the senior programs, the town does it. And I'm pretty sure because they have the exercise class before the pandemic, which is something I started when I was on the council for the town. Wellness workshops. We would pick a diabetes, high blood pressure. We would have a nurse. I coordinated with United Medical Center, Greater Southeast United Medical Center, and they had a nurse or someone come in and talk to the seniors about healthy eating and what it means to how to control it, and things like that for the different socially medical needs that we need. And that's something I think they still do that. I know that they still do the the exercise class, and also in collaboration with United Medical Center. I was the head of the project for mobile medical units, and I worked with the folks over in Eastover, and we used to have a bus come once a week, the mobile unit, and it was just a doctor's office on wheels. So those are the kinds of things that we're still gonna have to collaborate somehow, because I think the county has a mobile unit. I'm not real sure. So I need to make sure that those kinds of things are still happening for this plus over. Again, I feel like sometimes you forget about us.
Well, the question I want to have is, do you have all these things ready to go virtual? So let's say we still have some people who they want to help, but they want to, like if you had an exercise class that is virtual, or the wellness, the check-in with the seniors or things like that was virtual, that those who are a little more crafty with the computer, they could participate. And then, it could steer towards your website where, if they want to donate or donate time. Because people are still on that virtual thing.
Right. Absolutely.
And, you don't want to lose that opportunity for it. So
I would welcome a setup like that. That would be great. That would be I know that's not something that I have. And as far as I know, for the town and the senior exercise class, they still meet in person.
Right. Some people, we just had our group, we just had a meeting where, we do a lot of things. Like, for instance, when you talked about utility assistance, I'm a state critical medical needs navigator. So I can actually help process those applications or get them to the state. So like with your seniors, who's your utility company?
Pepco.
So Pepco has that. So because Alexon, so and all the different changes and all the different so that educational things, having it virtual, having it in person. Yeah. Absolutely. So as we start winding down, when you took this position, what was your first set of goals that you wanted to do?
I was on the board. We had two executive directors that I guess we didn't get what we needed out of them.
Okay.
And all of that stuff that they had put together to get us on the market had fallen short.
Right.
So the development of the webpage, I did that. The welcome package for any board members or anybody that wants to join as just a regular member, I took on that. The membership drives, I did membership drives, and I had a clear vision and understanding of what a CDC could do for the area. So that was my driver.
Okay.
Because we know that there's money out there that I can go after that the town can't go after.
That's right.
And so why not bring those resources over here? We deserve them. It's all about deserving, and I think we deserve it over here.
And as a CDC,
because I had when I was home shopping back in 2000, one of the things I said is I did not want to move in a Heights. And somehow when I saw my house, I saw the front yard, and it was the kitchen floor that they had at the time, and it sold me. And where am I at? In a Heights. So it's been a really interesting journey for me. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, those were the things, and we kept hearing it over and over, year after year, and it never got done. I said, hold it. If you all are in agreement with this, why don't you make me the interim executive director and let me get some stuff done? And in the meantime, if you want to look for an executive director, you do so. And it was a difficult task. It was a difficult position to fill because, of course, we were small and we didn't have a whole lot of money to pay anyone.
Okay.
So I just took it on. And I think for maybe 3 or 4 years, I didn't get paid. I just did it.
I know what that feels like too.
Right. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I believed in the dream. So, okay, well, let me see what I can do with it because it was a challenge to me. Let's see if this can work. And lo and behold, 8-10 years later, here I am, still figuring out stuff to do different. So, yeah.
Okay. So, is there anything else that you would like to talk about as far as your community? What things? So you talked women. So you did say something about a Christmas event that you're having. Did you already have it? Is it actually?
Well, what we did, our newest partner is Wyndham Destination over in the harbor, although they have a location in Virginia.
Okay.
And so we work with them for 2 years to do a book bag drive and uniform drive for the kids. They're getting ready to do the Christmas giveaway, toy giveaway, to Flintstone because they've adopted Flintstone.
Okay.
So, but I'm pretty sure we used to collect toys, do the whole Santa thing, and I think the town may still do it. And what we did, because it got so overwhelming for me, they would look at me and I was like, yes, I'll write a check, but please don't ask me to work. So I usually just find some money to donate to it. So I do know that Flintstone is in for a surprise this week.
That's good.
Their partners, our partners at Wyndham Destination. Yeah.
Okay. Are you looking to adopt any other schools in the area around you?
It is the CD's wish because I believe St. Mark's does Forest Hieghts Elementary. Flintstone is with Wyndham. I did not know that there was an elementary school until last year in Birchwood. I didn't know it. I was like, oh my. So I'm looking to go after Henson Valley.
Okay. And that would be wonderful for you to have those contributions, you having that opportunity that if they, you want to adopt a school, what your plans are for the school, the senior centers that are in your area, what things you would like to do. So, I mean, it looks like it seems like a really big project, but with many hands and people.
It's easy to do it. Yeah. We can make it happen.
So I'm going to give you 10 minutes to talk to the viewers and tell them exactly. I mean, you gave us your wish list. You gave us what it is that you would like to do. But I want to give you an opportunity to tell what kind of volunteers you're looking for. How much time do they need to give you? Where contributions can be sent over to. And here you are, Ms. Mintz.
Thank you. Again, the biggest project for me is I need that computer person to take over their website and get the social media going like it needs to go. Again, and the major reason for the redo is because we were forced to change the name of the organization. Okay. So we need to get out there now, make sure we're out there with the new name. Okay. As far as volunteers, in the summertime when we do the farmers market, it would be nice if our young folks would come over and help our seniors set up because we have tables, we have tents. I've made sure that they're visible wherever they're set up. And of course, seniors, as years pass, they don't have what it takes, or it's difficult for them because these are huge tents and what have you. So we need a volunteer for that. And we actually pay a stipend to whomever. And we've had a couple of young folks do it, but to have a consistency, help those seniors with that from July to October would be great. And then with the community garden, we have supported it, but it's really not my baby.
Okay.
But it would be nice to be able to get some volunteers over there to help. The biggest issue that they have is figuring out how to put water over there.
Okay.
Instead of these huge barrels that they have, and they got to drag the hose, and it's just a mess. I know that there's been several conversations with WSSC to reopen or open up one of some of the roof line, because we see them all over. So we're trying to figure out why is it cut off, and why can't we get it turned back on right there in the garden? And the price tag that they put on there was about $10,000, which we thought was kind of unreasonable. And I don't have it. I don't have $10,000. And at that time, the council was working to get it done.
Okay.
I don't even know what happens, but that's a big issue with that community garden. And it does very well because it has plots for everybody. You come out, do your thing. It's definitely a family gathering kind of thing. You know, grandma and the kids can come over, plant their little whatever they want to plant. And it saves money because, I mean, you can grow whatever you want to grow, right? So that would be nice to figure out how to make WSSC come down on that number.
Okay,
to
so
turn that water back.
Do you have irrigation systems already?
No. The only irrigation system we have is those really big, huge tanks that we stick a hose into and water stuff. That's it. But we do know that there's houses on both sides. This is where the tower is. Is that a water? I'm not sure what kind of tower it is over there. But we have seen, as we plant, we've seen the WSSC manholes. And I was like, okay, so it had to be water at some point. How can we get this turned back on? Can it be done? Yes, it can be done. And but the cost to do it, we just got to find the money. And I do think that because mostly seniors are, operating in that and doing their thing over there, we need to be able to give them something to help them not have to drag those hoses and fill up the tank. It's
I got you. Okay, so there are some gardeners and some people that would definitely be able. We can reach out to see if they can assist you. So where are those community gardens located?
The community garden is 137 North Huron in Forest Hieghts, Maryland. So it's on the other side of the Beltway where the Henry's is. You make that turn, right? The first turn onto North Huron to just take it straight down. You run right into it.
Now, another question: would you want to have a community garden where you are?
That garden is in Forest Heights.
Okay,
but I mean, it's controlled by the citizens, and again, we support it whenever they need something. But I think I've done all I can possibly do. We put a greenhouse in there. We put the signage there, and the town got a grant to do some other stuff, like be able to put a mirror on the tower that's there. I think that, I don't know. I mean, do we want to? I guess we could do two, but I think, yeah.
Okay, well, those are opportunities and those are discussions that we can actually look at.
You would love Miss Kathy, who manages the farmers market. You would love her because she's from Halifax, Virginia. Grew up on the farm, the whole 9 yards. So you guys would love. I'm sure y'all would talk for hours. So yeah.
Yeah, I have my first experience in Sykesville. My family has a farm and a church.
Okay.
So every summer, when the fertilizers was pig manure and cow manure. Oh yeah, those were the days.
I wish I had it in me, but I don't have that in me. I don't.
You never know. When I'm coming up there, I'll bring you a plant and we'll start with some basil and some take it from there. So
yeah. So those areas, if we can just make them grow. With some volunteers and whatever ideas we can get. But again, for the garden, that water issue really we need to take care of it. We really
Okay.
do need to take care of it.
So we need to clone Joe to be in different places at one time. Joseph Gaston to be in one place at one time. But also you need those skilled volunteers, but then you have other volunteers that can come in and help you. And if while the situation with the community garden is being resolved, maybe having some community service hours where those young
absolutely. Because there are times
when
when they need to put down mulch. There are times when they need to do some cleaning up. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. They will put them to work for sure. They will put them to work. Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna start the end of the show, but I'm gonna reach out to. I'm gonna ask to make my big ask for volunteers, foundations to check you out and see their investment, because their investment is definitely going to grow because you have a community support, you have your town support, you have your county support, and you basically beat how some other people don't have that. They don't have that at all. So I'm going to advocate for gardeners. There are quite a few in Baltimore that are doing education and growing and things. So that community garden may be able to give some input on what needs to be done so that you don't have seniors struggling to get across the street toward a community garden, but also looking at developers who can take initiative and actually come out and look at building projects in communities that are viable communities. Also, which can actually enjoy the development on one side of the street, but bring it into the communities that are actually doing the work.
Absolutely.
Looking for youth or students who are in Prince George's County that are from University of Maryland, Hopkins, I don't care where you are. She needs someone who can do social media that can assist her, but also having the secretary, the administrative assistant who can sit and help you knock out things. Those people who love to be in the faces of politicians and fundraising, she needs you. So on that note, Miss Manns, we're going to bring you back because we're going to see what we can do. And I'm definitely going to volunteer because I'm going to come back home. Prince George's County.
Perfect.
So on that note, I wish you a very safe holiday season.
Yes,
you're never going to get rid of me because I love to garden and I love to be behind the scenes, but I can be in front of the folks. So I appreciate Joe Gaskins for introducing us. And on that note,
much applause to Joe Gaskin and your team. Thank you very much. This probably will be very helpful for me, and I look forward to our collaboration growing. We're going to have a good time together.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
On that note, you're welcome. And we're going to see you in March, April, because then that way you will have the calendar and people will be flooding you and you'll be saying, stop. But for all those who we want to thank you for supporting us for 2022. And we look forward to a very strong 2023.
Perfect. Yes.
Reach out to Miss Manns if you are very interested and you want to support something that is very near and dear to you, especially if you're in Prince George's County. But on that note, happy holidays. Be safe.
Happy holidays. Yes. Have a good one.
Spend time with your family. Spend time with your grandparents. Learn your history. And we'll see you back next year.
Thank you. Perfect. Thank you. Everybody be safe and blessed.
Resources and gardening. Goodbye.